Hello my dear students, good morning. Welcome for the next lecture. Today I will tell you something about electric dipole. What is electric dipole? See, electric means charge, you can say. Dipole means it has two poles. So when two equal and opposite charges are separated by a finite and small distance, they constitute an electric dipole. जब दो equal और opposite charges, for example minus q and plus q, are separated by some finite distance. So this is a finite distance. They constitute an electric dipole. So this is minus q, this is plus q, and the separation distance is say 2a, twice of a. We are taking twice of a as a separation distance to make the calculations simple. क्योंकि सभी जो distances होते हैं, they are measured from the center of the dipole. If it is O is the center of the dipole, then this side will be A and this is also A. So what is an electric dipole? In which two equal but opposite charges are separated by some finite distance. It constitutes an electric dipole. Now the question is that these two are equal and opposite. Don't they come closer and collapse? क्या ये पास में नहीं आएंगे? अट्रैक्शन होगी तो ये पास में नहीं आएंगे और पास में आते देख कोलैप्स खत्म नहीं हो जाएंगे? नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होता है. I will tell you why. Say for example we have NaCl. Now NaCl is an ionic molecule. Na is positive and Cl is negative. Say I am drawing this as a nucleus of Na. This is Na, nucleus of it, and this is chloride nucleus. While forming a bond, there is a transfer of electrons from sodium to chloride to attain stability. And it becomes positive in nature, and this is negative in nature. Obviously, there will be a force of attraction, electrostatic attraction between them. थोड़ा इस तरफ जाएगा तो it should come here. तो मान लेते हैं they come closer. See, they come closer like this. But they don't collapse. Why they don't collapse? This is Na, this is Cl, this is A. They are coming closer. As they go closer to each other to some extent, then there is a repulsion between their nucleuses. Their nuclei repel each other because every nucleus has a positive charge density. Chloride has also a positive charge density. So they repel, they start repelling each other because of the nuclear repulsion. Electrostatic attraction के कारण वो पास आ रहे हैं. As they come closer, the nuclear repulsion starts, and at a particular distance, both balances each other, and the dipole is formed, and it exists in this form. This is called the bond length. So every molecule has a bond length. दोनों एक साथ एक दूसरे के अंदर घुस नहीं सकते. One nucleus cannot go inside the other nucleus. Nucleus is a very dense thing. ये दोनों अंदर एक दूसरे के साथ एक दूसरे के अंदर घुस नहीं सकते because of the nuclear repulsion. इसलिए this is not possible. They come closer and closer and closer, and after that, when the nuclear repulsion is strong enough to repel to the electrostatic force of attraction between them, to balance the electrostatic force of attraction between them, then their movement stops and they form an electric dipole. Say it has a positive charge, say it has a negative charge, equally positive and equally negative, and this is a separation distance, and this is an electric dipole. Same is the case with the HCl. In HCl we have a sharing of electrons. If it is H, this is Cl. H is smaller than Cl in size. So Cl attracts the electron of hydrogen towards it itself. The electron negativity of chloride is more than the hydrogen. तो जो इलेक्ट्रॉन हाइड्रोजन का होता है वो क्लोराइड की तरफ ज्यादा होता है, जिसके कारण इसका नेगेटिव चार्ज हो जाता है, पोलैरिटी हो जाती है और इसका पॉजिटिव हो जाता है, एंड इट फॉर्म्स एन इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल. वाटर से वाटर H and O. Water is also a dipole. During formation of a water molecule, oxygen has two unpaired electrons there. There is a sharing of one electron here and one electron here. It attains a small negative charge and this attains a small positive charge. So it is also a dipole. And because of its dipole, because of you can say dipole nature of water, it is a very good solvent. So water is a very good dipole, and because of dipole nature, most of the things get dissolved in water. This is a few examples of electric dipole. This is in chemistry, but in physics, electric dipole is similar to this. In this, we think that there is a negative charge, there is a positive charge, and there is a separation distance between them. And this separation distance is called 2a, and this constitutes an electric dipole. There is a force of attraction between them, there is a force of repulsion between them, and when both are equal and opposite and balancing each other, the dipole is formed and exists at particular distance. This is called an electric dipole. Most of the ionic substances are electric dipole. Even polar substances are also electric dipole, in which positive and negative charges are separated by a small distance. There are some other examples like chlorine, Cl2. See, if you take Cl and Cl, you will find that their positive and negative polarities get coincide. They are spherical in nature. Spherical symmetric होते हैं, जिसके कारण इसका पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव दोनों coincide करते हैं, एंड इसकी डाइपोल फॉर्म नहीं कर पाते. Other reason is that these two have the same amount of electronegativity. To form an electric dipole, the electronegativity of two atoms or two ions should be different. जिसकी electronegativity ज़्यादा होती है, it attracts the electrons towards it and attains a negative polarity as compared to the other, and other one attains a positive polarity and forms an electric dipole. Similarly, methane, CCl4, all these are not dipoles. The dipole moment is 0. So let's take another topic, electric dipole moment. Now, electric dipole moment. What is electric dipole moment? The symbol is P vector. Electric dipole moment. What is that? It measures the strength of the electric dipole. It measures the strength of the polarity of electric dipole. So what is electric dipole moment? It measures the strength of polarity of an electric dipole. इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल की पोलैरिटी को जो मेजर करता है, उसकी स्ट्रेंथ को जो मेजर करता है, उसे हम इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल मोमेंट कहते हैं. एंड मैथमेटिकली इट इज गिवन बाय P vector. It's a vector quantity. Charge, take any one of the charge, say Q, and the separation distance 2a vector. Charge is scalar quantity, so we are putting a vector over here. Otherwise, you can put I cap or J cap or K cap. If it is x-axis, you can put I cap here. Otherwise, simply you can write 2A vector. Where is A vector? This is A vector. What is the direction of P vector? It is from negative charge to positive charge. This is negative, this is positive. So this is the direction of P vector. Electric dipole moment is a vector quantity and its direction is from minus charge to plus charge along the axis of the dipole. This is called the axis of the dipole. Also called the axial line, or you can say the axis of dipole. तो डाइपोल की जो स्ट्रेंथ होती है वो किसे मेजर करते हैं? इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल मोमेंट से, विच इज इक्वल्स टू चार्ज एंड मल्टीप्लाई बाय द सेपरेशन डिस्टेंस. और इसका अगर हम मॉड लें तो यू कैन राइट लाइक दिस 2AQ. This is an important expression. And what are the units of electric dipole moment? Units of electric dipole moment is in SI units are coulomb meter. See, here it is coulomb and this is meter. Coulomb meter. The SI unit of electric dipole moment is coulomb meter. What is the CGS unit? CGS unit is more important. It is Debye, or you can see Debye. Debye is a unit given by Peter J. Debye. It is given by Peter J. Debye. So CGS unit is more practical than coulomb meter. And what is 1 Debye? 1 Debye is equals to 1 into 10 raised to the power minus 18 stat coulomb centimeter. 1 Debye is 1 into 10 raised to minus 18 stat coulomb centimeter. Or you can say it is 3.33 into 10 raised to the power minus 30 coulomb meter. So 1 Debye is related with SI unit with this formula, 3.33 into 10 raised to the power minus 30 coulomb meter. And Debye is in more use क्योंकि all these dipoles are in atomic in nature. छोटे छोटे होते हैं, बड़े नहीं होते हैं, इनका separation distance बहुत छोटा होता है. And you can say in picometers. This is for example hydrogen fluoride. Hydrogen fluoride. What is the dipole moment of hydrogen fluoride? It is 1.8 Debye. And HCl is 1.03 Debye. Most of the ionic compounds have a range from 1 to 10 Debye. इनकी जो dipole moment की जो range होती है 1 से 10 Debye के बीच में होती है. One more example, for example NaCl. NaCl is a very good ionic molecule और इसकी जो dipole moment है it is 9.0 Debye. Say KBr, it is a 10.5 Debye. Now see, all these dipole moments are in the range of 1 to 10, say approximately 1 to 10, and it is measured in Debye as compared to coulomb meter. The Debye is a CGS unit of electric dipole moment. So what electric dipole moment says? It gives the strength of the polarity of an electric dipole and its directions from minus Q to plus Q. For example, we have HCl. H is positive, Cl is negative. So I am drawing like this. तो इसकी इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल मोमेंट डायरेक्शन कौन सी होगी? माइनस से किस तरफ होगी? पॉजिटिव, पी की तरफ. NaCl की बात करते हैं अगर हम, Na पॉजिटिव Cl नेगेटिव, इसकी भी कहां पे होगी? फ्रॉम Cl to this. This is electric dipole moment. Now let's take an example of water. Water is a good solvent. So this is H and this is O. और इसकी this is negative, this is positive in nature. इनकी डायपोल मोमेंट इसकी यहां से इधर होगी और इसकी यहां होगी, दिस इज से, और दोनों को रिजॉल्व करेंगे वी गेट दिस वन, दिस इज कॉल्ड यू कैन से द नेट इलेक्ट्रिक डायपोल मोमेंट ऑफ वाटर. इधर करेंगे तो दे गेट बैलेंस्ड आउट, ये दोनों ऐड हो जाएंगे एंड you can get a net electric dipole moment in this direction. See, it is negative, here it is positive, here it is positive, it is in between these two. This is electric dipole moment of water molecule. So electric dipole moment gives the strength of the polarity of an electric dipole, and it is from negative charge to positive charge, and it is measured in coulometer, or you can say Debye. Now electric dipole moment depends upon many factors. Here one factor is the structure, geometry, or you can say orientation of the atoms in a molecule. So it depends upon, first of all, it depends upon electronegativity. It depends upon electronegativity, difference in electronegativity, you can say. Depends upon difference in electronegativity of two atoms forming a molecule. जिसकी electronegativity ज़्यादा होती है वो negatively charged होता है as compared to the other. Electronegativity means the ability to attract electrons. दूसरा जो है, it depends upon size of the atoms, involved. What are the size? Size also plays an important role in this. And the third one is the overall geometry. Or you can say structure of the molecule. So dipole moment depends upon many factors. First is the difference in the electronegativity of two atoms forming a molecule. Second is size of the atoms involved. And third is the overall geometry, or even structure of the molecule. These are the factors over which electric dipole moment depends. Now, there are different types of electric dipole. One is the ideal dipole, or you can say the point dipole. What is an ideal dipole? Ideal dipole. For example, we have a dipole whose dipole moment is 2aq. The ideal dipole is that dipole in which the separation distance decreases as small as possible, whereas the charge increases so that the dipole moment remains constant. For example, एक dipole हमारे पास ये dipole है, अगर हम इसे ideal dipole बनाना चाहते हैं तो dipole moment for example P equals 2aq है. What we have to do? When it set to be a ideal dipole, अगर हम चार्ज की मैग्नीट्यूड बढ़ाते जाएं और सेपरेशन डिस्टेंस को क्या करते हैं, कम करते हैं, एज स्मॉल एज पॉसिबल, कीपिंग द P कांस्टेंट, दैट कॉन्स्टिट्यूट एन आइडियल डाइपोल. Ideal dipole is also, you can say, point dipole. Why it is called a point dipole? Because of its size. इसका साइज बहुत छोटा होता है, just like a point. Positive and negative charge are separated by a very small distance. So this is an ideal dipole, also called as a point dipole. Then we have a short dipole. Now what is a short dipole? Short dipole is, for example, this is a dipole, and if you want to find some electric field intensity or some potential to do this dipole at this point, say this point, from the center of the dipole its distance is r. अगर ये r इसके separation distance से बहुत ज्यादा हो, short dipole, if an electric dipole has r very much greater than a, अगर सेपरेशन डिस्टेंस बहुत छोटा है और यहाँ पे आपने उसका कुछ पोटेंशियल या इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी निकालनी है, डिस्टेंस जो है, दिस डिस्टेंस इज वेरी बिग. फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इज इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल और यहाँ काफी दूर निकालना. फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इज इन सेंटीमीटर्स एंड दिस इज इन meters. For example, this is in millimeters and this is in meters. Then in that case, this dipole can be considered as a short dipole. Once again, what is a short dipole? Short dipole or dipole is said to be a short dipole depend upon its size and the distance at which its electric field or potential is to be calculated. अगर इसका साइज बहुत छोटा है और जो डिस्टेंस r है वो बहुत बड़ा है, then that dipole can be considered as a short dipole. So we have done ideal dipole, we have done short dipole. So these are what I want to say about electric dipole. Once again, what is electric dipole? It's very simple. Negative charge and equally positive charge is separated by some finite distance, and this distance is very small. And why they don't collapse? Because there may be a force of repulsion, you can say nuclear repulsion between these two charges, which balances the electrostatic force of attraction between these two charges. उसके कारण ये collapse नहीं होते. और इनकी स्ट्रेंथ किससे नापी जाती है? डाइपोल की स्ट्रेंथ, इसकी पोलैरिटी की स्ट्रेंथ हम नापते हैं इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल मोमेंट से. And electric dipole moment का symbol क्या है? P vector, and it is given by P vector equals to 2aq. Where is 2a here? Separation distance. It is a vector quantity and its direction is from minus charge to positive charge, negative to positive along the axis of the dipole. This is called the axis of the dipole, and its SI unit is coulometer, whereas its CGS unit is more important and it is dB. And most of the electric dipole in chemistry has a strength between 1 to 10 dB. I have written some examples, you can see it. Water is a very good solvent because it is an electric dipole. Now, dipole moment depends upon many factors. One of the factors is the difference in electronegativity of two atoms forming a molecule. Now, what is electronegativity? The ability to attract the electrons towards itself. तो दो जैसे क्लोरीन लेंगे, दोनों की इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिविटी बराबर है, तो इट इज नॉट, दे आर नॉट फॉर्मिंग ए इलेक्ट्रिक डाइपोल. पॉजिटिव polarity and negative polarity of the charge coincide. Similarly, CCl4, CH4, all these are non-polar and they have a zero dipole moment because they are not separated by a distance. Size of the atoms also plays an important role in defining the electric dipole moment, and definitely the overall geometrical strength or structure of the molecule. Geometry or structure of the molecule also defines the dipole moment. See here, in water, difference is there. Here it is P, here it is this. We have to resolve it. We get this. The dipole moment geometry के ऊपर भी depend करता है. Then I have explained you about ideal dipole. Ideal dipole वो dipole होता है जिसमें separation distance बहुत कम होता है और charge का जो magnitude होता है काफी ज्यादा होता है. Short dipole वो होता है जिसमें separation distance is very small as compared to the distance at which electric field density or potential is to be calculated. That is when R is very greater than A. This is what I want to say about electric dipole. That's all for today. Thank you very much.